Bess, I know that condo demand is soaring, but co-op demand is strong too, even though it's such a difficult process, right?
It is. It is. And nice to see you, Matt, by the way. Sorry you're having such a hard time in trying to find a home. If you need an agent, you let us know. Um, yeah, I mean, the demand is really strong in New York City, which is great because, as you know, during the pandemic, we were very slowed down, and now we're seeing people return to New York City, and we love that. You're seeing companies get space here, like Microsoft and Disney and Google, who are expanding their space, which is also good for New York City. But yes, the market is back. As you guys talked about before, you're seeing some slowdown in other places, but that is because of supply. And things are ticking up in price. And so that's tightening a bit. It does take, as David Solomon said, exuberance out of the market when interest rates go up or when supply gets skinnier, and then the prices tick up. That also takes exuberance out of the market. So we're seeing some of that in other regions.
And of course, Bess, one of the reasons we fear inflation, and inflation that's pernicious, is that it changes our spending habits. And in the case of housing, we are seeing pre-approvals for mortgages soaring. We're seeing some purchases pulled forward as people at the margin think, I better get in now because, tell Matt Miller, it's only going to get worse. Your mortgage is only going to get more expensive in the months, maybe years ahead. How distorting is that right now, that people really are rushing into this market where otherwise they might have waited even a year or two?
You know, I do think there are some people that are jumping in right now. You know, what is inflation? Too much money chasing too few goods. And I think that people are starting to feel like rates are going to tick up. Listen, I have a story of some friends that rented in New York City for 6 or 7 years. And during the pandemic, they decided to buy because they wanted to take advantage of rates. And when I asked them, I said, what gives? Why are you guys buying? They said, look, we wanted to make something our own. We wanted to build a little home office. We wanted to do a lot of improvements, and we felt like we were in temporary space. So they ended up purchasing during the pandemic. They did very well. Already they feel like they could sell their apartment for more. And so I think a lot of people started to feel that pressure, and they're feeling that now, and they want to invest in something that not only is a long-term investment, but is a place where they live, that's sacred, that means a lot to them, that many times they're raising families or they're newlyweds, whatever it is. Your home is an emotional commodity, and it matters in a big way to people.
What do you think about new inventory or lack thereof, Bess? I'm looking at this, you know, gigantic residential tower over here, just south in Midtown, and thinking, man, we should build a few more of those. But there's not a lot of space here to do that.
There's not a lot of space, and it's really expensive to buy land, and the whole undertaking is a challenge. And, you know, look, Matt, we have a new mayor coming in January 1st who's very pro-business and pro-people. He's a unifier, I believe, and he'll stand above all this divisive sort of politics and lead us to a good place in New York. But people, we want to create more homes. We need to take care of our homeless. We have a lot of issues in New York. And so I think we have a good supply, which is why people are buying now, which is excellent. Other places are challenged, but I don't see a lot of building more in this cycle. I think right now people are just trying to steady what's going on.
Just a few seconds here, Bess, but is there a correlating increase in rents? Because affordability comes to mind, and New York is one place you can rent, a beautiful place to live, but are they also making it less and less affordable?
It's becoming less affordable. I mean, rents are at a historic high right now. And just as I mentioned that Microsoft, Google, and Disney are taking space here, and more people are coming here, and people have to come back to the office, and things are opening up. I think that they're going to just keep going up. And so it's becoming very expensive to be here. Yes, rents, you could get a bargain during the pandemic, and that's gone. That's all disappeared.